Welcome back. This is Brandon Vuklich, your investor-friendly agent, and Rebecca and I are touring a fourplex in Renton for only $799 and change. Yes, it is that cheap, but there's a reason. These are very small. There's two studios, I believe. So come on in. It's very dated. It has some sloping. There's no lights in here, so it's going to be a little bit darker. I apologize. You could probably remove this and make it feel a little bit more open, but everything's pretty. You have a washer dryer, full size washer dryer in the small unit in the kitchen. You come back in here, you do have a full tub bath, and you have your one bedroom with a pretty good sized closet. You do have these older square D panels. We like to look at that, and you have older aluminum uh, windows. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And so they're not as efficient as the new double pane vinyl stuff that we see. You have baseboard heats. You could use some new light fixtures. You've got extra storage here, like that was a closet. So it's pretty small. It's very dated, and it has a significant slope. I'm a little concerned about here, but the neighborhood is not too bad, and it's a great location if you're commuting to North View or going kind of northwest to Seattle or even south into Kent to work. And it has some, nice little extra stuff about like storage and some parking. So we will do a little walk around next. Thanks. So surprisingly, you get a little more space. Somebody's added. I don't know if it's a landlord or the tenants added storage sheds. These Rubbermaid plastic ones. It's just great for the tenants because they're so small. These units in general already. But you have a little extra space back here. You have car off-street parking off the alley. It's fenced. It has some creative gutter arrangements here coming off the end and going out down here towards your neighbor's side of the property, which is always a great idea. And double gates to walk out to the main street. So you do have some off-street parking. You have decent on-street parking in this area. You're close to the airport in Renton. That's the noise you hear from the small little plane right now. The siding, it looks like it probably has some rot down here for sure. It's probably old, been painted over several times. But we'll run the numbers. It's probably tough. It sounds like a really good deal at $800,000 for 4 units in King County anywhere. That is just pretty much unheard of. But the units are small, is dated, needs lots of work. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. We're looking at this small fourplex with 2 studios and 2 ones. Most fourplexes in South King County are going to be in the $1 million to $1.2 million in general. Your traditional 2-bed, 1-bath, all the same floor plan. But this is older, 1957, and the units are really small, like 400 square feet. So even at 800, where it's at 25% down, current rates you're probably looking around 7%. I'm going to be very, very ignore this. I didn't update this because I was just punching numbers real quick for numbers' sake. This is the actual rents. There's a unit that's vacant. I'm going to be very generous and say no vacancy, self-managed, right? I put in the actual listing numbers here, which they said for insurance, which is way too low. I know that's probably not going to remain at that rate. Water sewer garbage, you need the budget for some repairs. It's older. Okay, well, anyway, day one, 25% down at that price. You're going to lose about $2,200 a month. Let's say you can bump up these rents a little bit here on the studios to $1,095 because we're going to build back $50 a unit for some water sewer garbage to recapture that, which I think is totally fair and reasonable. And I'm going to consider, based on the pictures and the age, what we know, you're not going to get what they advertise. I don't think you're going to get $1,500 market rent for the 1 bed. So if we say $1,295 plus the 50 you're about $1,345 for rents. You're still going to lose about $500 a month, self-managed, no vacancy. So here's what we have to do, right? We kind of, what makes sense? Maybe 700,000, which I don't know if they'll take that. It might be tough. Then you're still just about breaking even at those self-managed, no vacancy. So if we come back and say they probably won't take that right now because they just listed, but you never know. Maybe you just have to punch a little bit more money at it. 35% down. Still not fantastic. We're looking at possibly, 3% cash on cash by the time you get this thing stabilized a bit. You're still going to lose until you get that 1 unit filled. But this is what we have to do. We have to play around with the numbers. If you were to make a cash offer, you might be able to get it low 7s. And Now we can probably budget a little bit more for vacancy to be more realistic. You paid cash and a management fee in there. Now you're looking at almost $3,000 a month, 5%. This is more in line with what we'd expect to see, and not a bad deal, especially for a property in a up and coming part of Renton that's not too far south of Bellevue, the east side. And these will rent all day long. I know they will, because they're affordable. You're renting to workforce housing type of people, very blue collar, but that's fine, right? Maybe even Section 8. But a 5% return, that's if you pay cash at 712. Not horrible, not a great deal, but at least it shows you the numbers and how we try to make sense. Unfortunately, the reality is that a lot of people are just going to have to put more down to get these things to pencil a little bit better, or get a lower price too. So, okay, hope that helps. It's just a quick snapshot of how I look at things.